of the people at large. Now, when we look at our human standpoint, the laws are made by human. But when we look from the transcendental view, which is above human capacity, then we see sometimes, even though laws are made by people, but they are governed by some other kind of invisible force. This invisible force we call in Sanskrit karma. Karma is a Sanskrit name for the law of cause and retribution. Yeah, like we say in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, in the Christian terminology, is as you sow, so shall you reap. Yes. So when some Christian people question me that only the Buddhists believe in karma, I smile and tell them the Christian also believes in karma. Yes. Every good and grand religion has to teach people the law of karma. Otherwise, why do they bother to teach people to do good and be good? If we have no retribution later, or any at all, or afterlife at all, why bother to be good, to do good? Because if you are bad, you are kind of naughty and sinful, you still have only this life. So the law of karma, and also, consequently, the law of reincarnation is very, very common. And every religion openly or hintingly teach this kind of law. It is the same like we have the law in every nation in order to protect the order of the society. The law of the universe is also there to protect the order and the well-being of all beings in the universe. If we live in a country, we must know a little bit about the law of that country in order to live in harmony, also not to harm ourselves by transgressing the law. Now, when we think it over, we are not only living in a nation, but we are also living in the universe. And every nation is a kind of a room in a big mansion. So therefore, it is an obligation to us also to have to know a little bit about the universal law. After we study the law of different nations, we might notice that sometimes one law in this nation doesn't apply to the other nation. For example, in our country, like Vietnam or maybe America, you can only have one wife and one husband, right? That is the law. Now if you have a second or the third, your wife or husband can take you to court and make trouble. In Tibet, it's entirely different. Now a woman can have many husbands. Well, one woman can marry the whole brothers of one family. Now I'm not joking. You may read yourself. So, if you read the book of Swami Vivekananda, he told his experience about this. He said when he was shocked and asked a brother, why are they doing such things? Why are they married to only one woman, 5 or 6 brothers? And the brother say, in Tibet, it is considered selfish not to share any good things with your brothers. So then he kept pondering again about the relativity of law and sometimes morality. Now, in every country, we have to live up to the law of that country in order not to cause problem, heartbreaks to ourselves and to the others. So we cannot say, well, I'm Tibetan like that, so we Americans learn to do the same. We cannot. Because we Americans are Americans. Yeah, we have our own emotion, our own background of tradition, and our own judgment. We can't just imitate anyone at all. The same like the Vietnamese or the Chinese or any other countries' people. They cannot imitate the other countries' traditions. They may respect their laws, but there are other kind of invisible laws concern emotion and a way of living they cannot imitate. And then, now we consider that when we live in every nation, we have to follow that nation's law. So now, when we are in the universe, we must also follow our universal law. That law will protect us from degrading into a lower grade of existence. For example, when we are in a country and we commit some crimes or transgress some law, we will be put in jail or have some kind of fine, no? Yes. Now, if we live in this universe and we commit something is not suitable to the law of the universe, then we also have to be put in some kind of other existence which is not very pleasurable for us. That is what we call bad karma, the law of retribution. As you sow, so shall you reap. Therefore, when we want to live in harmony and do not incur displeasure situation for ourselves, we should study some universal law. Universal law is not made by man and is not changeable, like human's law. When we see the human's law, it varies from country to country. Yeah. And even the standard of morality varies from country to country. So it's hard to tell people in one country to accept the other country's law. But the universal law is always and always the same. For example, in the Bible, it is stated that thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, etc. Thou shalt love thy neighbor, love thy enemy, etc. This will never change. If we want to know God or our so-called Buddha nature, yeah, God or Buddha nature, for me is the same thing. I have experienced that thing. You may call God or Buddha nature. I know it is